Hello, I'm Stephen Mason, and guess who's back with me? It's Carl McSorley.
I'm back. I'm back again.
And we're about to do the podcast for Jaws 3. It's just a podcast, by the way, and I'm going to press play on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom! Universal. So it's took us...
5 with a strange number.
What?
Like 3, 2, 1. 5 with a weird number.
Ah, sorry, it's... I don't know what's going on here, but like I've got universe... the L doesn't even come on my screen because obviously this would have been ultra wide, wouldn't it?
True. Well, it's 3D as well, isn't it? So it might have...
Well, it's took us 10 months to get a podcast down, and we've done a lot of stuff in the last 10 months. It's not like I haven't seen Carl. I will see Carl later on tonight when we go to see Aid Edmondson. Well, it's just been a lot going on. Probably a bit too personal for a podcast, but the timing just hasn't been there. We even almost had Paul Ray back for this, because me and Paul Ray started watching this 2 Christmases ago, and then finished watching it last Christmas. So Paul was originally going to come back for this podcast, but it's all about timing, isn't it? So...
Well, like I say, it seems strange when you think of how long it is and think, surely there must be a time, but nah, everything just has to line up, and in this case, not so much.
Right, 2 things that fix this film straight away in the modern era. 1, no 3D. 2, no Brody family.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the moment, we've got Fisher's head on the screen. Is that on the yet?
Yeah.
We are and thing. Yeah, so, again... it just goes back. Immediately you're talking about the Brody family and the no 3D, but to me, this is like that camera work. That to me is what makes these films so good. Is that they think about stuff like that. Yeah, so to make 2 a few months ago, and it's just blah. Just all boring. Even just with this camera work going through the waters, it just gives you such a nostalgic feeling, and it works.
Dennis Quaid, big heavy hit. This has actually quite a big cast in it. You've got Dennis Quaid, you've got the guy from Iron Eagle, I'll slip my mind there. That's him, Lewis Gosnick Jr. And then you've got also a chick from Back to the Future's in it, from Howard the Duck. Lee Thompson, right. Lee Thompson, yeah. When you say, because I've been fortunate enough to be to SeaWorld in Florida, and when I knew and heard of it as a kid, Jaws 3 is set in SeaWorld, it's mental. It's mental to think that, that'd be absolutely amazing. And this is probably the worst out of the 4 Jaws films by far. This is because this was obviously originally meant to be a skit from was it Jaws 3 People Zero and stuff like that. It was a Mad Magazine kind of take on it, and obviously 3D resurgence at this time with Friday the 13th Part 3 and all that. If you were making a series of films, everything just seemed to be in 3D at the time.
Yeah. Hey, this pyramid from the skiing team, that's where your budget's gone.
Again, it's they've got the underwater shots. They've obviously, a lot of it's done around the Bay Area when they've done it. Obviously, they haven't tried to go out to sea much. It's bright, it's colourful. The font is all over the place here, alignment wise. I think that's because obviously with it being 3D, it's essentially we're only watching the left side of the screen or the right side, whichever decides to bring out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's be fair, you said it's the worst one of the batch. I think Jaws is literally one of those few films that never needed any form of sequel, any spin-off. The film stands on its own, and it's still to this day one of the best thrillers, suspense films that you can get out there. I think just like most things in the 80s and stuff like that, if it made a bit of money, let's keep doing it. Let's just keep doing it until it doesn't. And in this case, Jaws does get quite far before it stops.
I'm watching this on the Blu-ray box set, right? And Jaws isn't part of that box set. Jaws, in Steven Spielberg's eyes, only has 1 film, and the box set's misleading. It says Jaws, then underneath it says unorthodoxy 2 comma 3 comma and the Revenge. So it's very misleading in the box set. And when I just went to put it on there, the discs themselves don't even say what they are. I had to look and go, right, Jaws 3 is commonly known as the pyramid, or the girl on the you know what I mean? That's it's almost Jaws in the sky, you know what I mean? Who's always seemed to be floating above. They kept the same image. You can tell this is meant to be 3D. She's a bit It's just
Yeah.
it's just that little trail. I'm sure this woman here is the one in License to Drive as well who goes, "Don't fuck with the DVL here." It just looks proper evil. I'm sure it might not be, but there's some moves as well. But again, there's the pirate ship and stuff like that. SeaWorld was a popular resort, but it still goes into like, there isn't a great white in captivity as well. So that's another thing that's quite brings around why isn't the one, and it does have a little bit of information there, but this one is just horrible as a film, like.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, this is how much can you do with it? I mean, this is very much heavily going to be focused on what sort of 3D tricks can we do, to really make it worthwhile. But again, I don't know, it's kind of somewhat forgivable. I can watch it and think, that it's not good. It's not one of the best in the group, but for this time, it's entertaining enough, Dennis Quaid is a good actor, he does what he can do with it.
But the thing is, if Dennis Quaid's
by numbers,
but Dennis,
how the film goes.
But Dennis Quaid's meant to be the Brody son, the one who's had more strokes with a shark than enough, and he almost binocular effect. And like, it just doesn't have to be the fucking Brody brothers. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of, and because of where he is as a character in the fourth one. Do you know what I mean? So.
Well, this is it. I mean, the thing is, they're trying to keep it alive by keeping the Brodies in it, which obviously, like you say, at this stage, it doesn't need to be. Like you say, it doesn't need to have any connection with the family. I mean, obviously, it's already funny enough to think that they move halfway across the country and still have shark issues. The Brody family is initially cursed by sharks, but ultimately it's kind of satire now, and it's just like it's funny. You got to just laugh at it rather than take it as serious as it should be.
That pyramid's an impressive thing to be able to do, mind.
Well, I mean, this is it. This is where I'm thinking, like, they're just pulling out loads of tricks because right, we're going to have water. So what can we do that we haven't done before? And I can imagine, I mean, it's still impressive to this very day, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like, how much can you do on water that could be entertaining to look at? And of course, naturally, the pyramid is, we've had 2 shots of it already, 3 maybe? 3 shots, and we're barely in.
I mean, the thing is as well, you film this sort of a little bit out of season, and it's a detraction when it was done. Filming Jaws 3 at SeaWorld. SeaWorld. Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to say...
On a technicality now, I don't know how yours are coming through, but this is not getting too much treatment when it comes to the Blu-ray.
Nah.
We've got a substantial amount of grain.
And blur.
And obviously, like you say, the 3D effect is evident when that last ran on screen before, as we mentioned, so... I mean, it doesn't look horrendous, but, there's definitely, when you consider like Jaws being the original series, but also how good that looks on Blu-ray. I mean, me and you have both seen that film on the big screen as well.
Yeah.
And how it holds up and how much detail that Spielberg's gone into, restoring. So, yeah, it just highlights a bit more so that they see this as the ugly black sheep of the family, and they haven't really done anything for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, as I said, it's obviously when they filmed it as well, it was filmed side by side for the 3D effect. In the video game for Jaws, the video game starts in SeaWorld and you actually get to fight a killer whale, and obviously Orca was sort of a bootleg Jaws film, the killer orca, the killer whale.
Yeah.
And now, if you did this now, you would most definitely have a fighting scene between the two, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Forget how young Dennis Quaid is in this film when you see him.
Dennis Quaid's had he's constantly worked and all that. He's had some really big films. I'm always blown away that Randy Quaid's his brother. I just never got that as a kid.
Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, but then you kind of see it. I mean, Inner Space, really good film. Again, he would have that a couple of years later. And you can see there when he's running across there, But here we go. This actress has probably became the biggest actress out of the bunch. Obviously, Free Billboards in Missouri and all that.
Yeah.
And Darkman. She's in Darkman. So they kind of had like, they had the cream of the crop of people who would go on to be established stars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is it. It's you'd be daft not to at least kind of put your name on it if you were being asked to be in a Jaws film, because, like I said, the first one was so highly received, and the second one had its fan base. So you are going to be signing up thinking you're going to go on for a bit of a classic.
That is her from who I'm thinking of, isn't it?
Is this
Frances
Bess Armstrong we're talking about?
No, is this Frances McDonald? It's not, is it? She just looks too she looks too pretty to be her. You know what I'm on about her? I don't think it is.
She's I'm going to do a little quick check on her. No, it's Bess Armstrong, who, for things she's known for, well, Jaws 3D pops up straight away, so that's not going to be too great. She's a bit of a TV actress, to be fair.
Right, so obviously the last one I'm thinking about obviously was in Darkman and then went on to be a bigger actor. Well, at the end of the day, when you're acting like that,
there's nobody in this film that made it big except for Dennis Quaid then.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, like again, there was an actor there though. You're actually sitting in there with a killer whale as well. So obviously they've put the money on the screen by utilising SeaWorld. I
mean, you can see there's a lot of effort going into it. They certainly haven't gone for a cheaper route. I think they've just, run out of ideas, haven't they?
Well, the thing what starts to let this film down is how shockingly shit all the effects come out of the end. As well, it's kind of like, it's bad. I mean, at the end of the day, with extras and stuff like that, one important thing about this era is you don't have to worry about people with the phones and stuff. You can go, oh yeah, we're going to film it there, put a sign up saying film will be taking place, and the extras will be general fucking extras. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah.
Quarantine stuff off, and that's it.
Definitely.
Now he comes.
I think I was talking about like relying on real extras and stuff like that. I don't know if you remember. I'm currently reading a book based on Keanu Reeves in one of his films that he did. I forget the name of it now. I'm just gonna draw a bloody blank. It's based on the fact that it's just living the life of this bloke who Keanu Reeves playing. But part of the film is that he steals this bloke's camera and then he's just running through the streets and he's recording the most bizarre, weird thing. And it's really funny because it is part of the film and nobody knows, obviously. Everyone assumed that it's actually Keanu Reeves nicking a paparazzi's camera and just running around. So like all the news was hitting the media straight away that Keanu Reeves has stole this paparazzi camera and running through Times Square. And it's like, no, he was literally filming something. And it's like, obviously the whole point of the talk was that he does very obscure projects and he's not necessarily going for the bigger blockbusters every time. But
we're about to have a death.
Yeah, it was really funny that nobody ever actually considered they were filming anything.
We're about to have a death on screen here of the guy holding his breath.
You can feel it.
About to stress out. It's kind of like.
Suspense.
I mean, you get it there. I mean, it's like a deep dark tank, and he just gets on. But essentially, what kills him here is the baby one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, again, a quick.
Oh, there's a 3D shot.
Oh, but that looks cool. So you meant to have your glasses on the entire time you're watching this film, though, aren't you?
Well, this is it though, because I recall getting this on VHS. I remember renting this, and it came with 3D glasses.
Yep.
But yeah, it's one of those things where like, if you watch a 3D film today, the entire film's done on a format that looks 3D. So
and you don't lose the colours, yeah. So you don't.
In this instance, it's in a regular film, but with added shots. So I don't know how I mean, do you recall watching this as a younger person, thinking I shouldn't be wearing glasses at this point?
Well, I watched this recently in 3D when I did because I've got Freddy's Dead glasses in the Freddy's Dead box. So it works in 3D,
Right.
but if you were buying this in modern era and it goes 3D, it's been kind of converted to work with modern stuff. But again, it's just really like poop. You know, it's poop. It's a poop disc.
Yeah.
It's shades and that. That last there looks like the actress I was on about before. That's why I'm getting confused. She's a proper doppelganger. Or the pushing tournament.
And the funny thing about that is, right, it's actually coming back around. I literally saw a video of some younger people doing the pushing tournament thing. And I was like, that everything comes around full circle.
I mean, boosh. He just did a proper wrestling bump there.
Here, Leah Thompson.
Howard the Duck?
What do you think? I was going to say, right, because you said this, right, and I would be quite interesting to see. I think, obviously, Back to the Future will trump it, but when you're a famous actress like this, are you then going to be remembered as the one in Back to the Future, or the one who practically almost had sex with an animatronic duck?
Well, that's it. It's kind of like... She pops up in the odd few things, but she kind of like just lives in the 80s, doesn't she, really?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And she's a decent actress as well. I mean, like I say, I think it was a product of its time, you know. Had she been born in a very modern world, would she have been given some...
This guy. Can you see the guy on the left? Can you see the guy on the left sitting at the table with the white top? And he's just been deadpanning the camera for ages. He's just been... Look, he's creeping around there again. Like, I was just looking there and going, look at all the tashes. And this guy's just staring at you.
Well, again, though, I mean, how many people of these are actual extras and how many people are going, like, just ignore the cameras, I'm just going to be doing some filming?
It's a hard thing to do, mate, when there's a camera in the room. And that's why extras are professional extras, because you've got to remember, they'll be sitting there and be like so quiet, and you've got to look like you're having a conversation, and, you know, it's... I mean, look at the old couple getting drinks off them there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, just like, oh, I'm going to act... But again, it's like... It's how it's done. It's a film work. You get people who professionally, because you get paid to stand around all day. You know what I mean?
Well, this is it. I mean, obviously, I know you've had your experience with filming, as have I. You know, so I remember a lot of people asking me, "Oh, does that mean you're going to get into like Downton Abbey and things like that when we recorded the movie?" And I was like, "No, there's a lot of people who get paid good money to become extras. Of course, they have to stand around all day and do nothing essentially until they're needed." But I don't think people realise that extras is quite a living in it. Now, this shot here, climbing over a fence.
Blackface.
This gives you a very Jaws 1 vibe.
Yeah, I mean,
You've got that kind of beach, and it doesn't seem to fit the mood at the moment. Like we've essentially been in a sea life centre since the start. Now that looks like it's back on the beach.
All blacked up for like an espionage thing. But even then, like, oh, that thing opens up and they're going to go into the swamp, and you know, it just happens to be this, because the shark can't have full reign of the lagoon. But it's kind of like if you're going to do it now in the modern days, oh, they got eaten by a crocodile. Like, oh, just happens to be a lobster looking at them. And now a turtle. Do you know what I mean? They've got a torch there and like, oh, there's a frog. You're like, fuck. I mean, it's as bad as King Kong Lives when he gets off and he grabs his boat, and it's like, he's obviously walking along the set, and there's an animal, there's a thing, there's a bird in the tree, and then he just so happens to have a gnat in the fucking gorilla's hand and not realise.
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks horrible.
Yeah. This is where I get to play the when does Carl die, because I'm just not going to be going into a raft in the middle of the night in a little lagoon. So I reckon I'm surviving so far.
I think you might survive this one, like.
It could be. I mean, who knows? But it could be the very first one Carl survived the film.
Ooh, that's a very risky shot if they were going for 3D, and it's so dark.
Yeah. Well, that's it. The lighting very
But see-
unnatural. They're doing something there, which is.
But there you go, movies 101. They've been out drinking all night. Now they're all going to drive with zero consequences.
Yeah.
Oh, we're along the beach.
Classic. Now, obviously, the name carries itself because it did make money. Now, knowing the film as it is, it's obviously a 3D film at the time. So, would you like to venture a guess on what our estimated budget is?
Budget for this?
Yeah.
25 million.
25 million you're going. You're not actually that far off. 20 million, just over 20.5 million. It opened up as 13.5 million on the US-Canada weekend, but it eventually grossed worldwide just under 88 million, just shy of 88 million. So it makes us money. Again, we're back into that kind of spectrum of like the 80s films when it comes to stuff like, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Jaws. These are all films that essentially just making enough money to consistently make another one afterwards.
Well, you've got to remember, if they've done it in the 80s, they're going to not only do, America rounds and then eventually get across to Europe and all that. Japan was starting to drive, but you've got to remember, like, it would be at the pictures, people will go and see the pictures. It was designed to get you to go to the pictures with 3D as a theme, but then it comes out on VHS, it sells on its VHS, it sells on DVD, it sells on Blu-ray, and then there's daft bastards like Carl McSorley who buy all 4 Jaws films on Steelbook, and you own this on a Steelbook.
Yeah. I mean, this is it, though. I mean, that's why I can watch this right now, and I can enjoy it to a certain degree. So, like, I'm not going to tell you that this is a great film and that it's a product of its time. It kind of is both. I can accept the fact that this is obviously poorly done to a certain degree, but also, I mean, it's market. It's doing exactly what you signed up to do. You're coming to see a suspenseful film based on a shark. Now, that being said, we have seen very little so far. There's only been one shark attack so far. So it is very much building up to the human element here. And none of which I really care about. There's no character here that I'm actually, like with first Jaws, Quinn and, Hooper and stuff like that. They're all characters that you actually are interested in.
No.
I don't know about you. Do you have a different opinion on that? Do you think that as characters here worthwhile?
No, because like,
just all cannon fodder?
if there weren't the Brodies, because he should be this guy here now should be fucking mortified of the water, because you know what I mean. He's that. Even Dennis Quaid's character has so much of a brush with death of the original one, and then you know what I mean. It should be hammered home. Like, and even look in the fourth one. I mean, he essentially is killed at the start of the fourth one, and he's a copper.
Aye.
So it's kind of because the fourth one to me, with it being set back in the town, and there's a couple of little cameos here and there. Then it's off to the bloody Bahamas. You know what I mean? I think the fourth one's just fucking funny, but this one here, I think it's just so. I like the idea. I like the concept of SeaWorld. I like it. I just think the 3D and the Brodies spoil it. There's just because there isn't a story there. Like, right, 2 people in the raft and the boat. What are they doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, obviously the one's got it in now, so he's. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's why it would have made a lot more sense to not have the Brody name attached to it. Had they just been random characters, you can kind of forgive a lot more of that. But when you do put that on the film, you're obviously watching it thinking, well, I'm here invested in these characters who I've been watching since I was kids, basically.
Yeah, it's like you take watching Scream, and you get a sequel, and you go, "Oh, who's going to die this time?" And obviously, you've seen Scream, so you know when they came back for Scream 5, fucking hell, like David Arquette finally died. You know what I mean? And then you think like the next one, and like they throw you for, "Oh, Courtney Cox is finally going to get it." You care about the cast that come back, and then as a kid, you're like, "Why the fuck did he come back and just kill?" And you go, "Oh, right." he gets a nice paycheck, he works 2 weeks, if that, and he's done. Do you know what I mean? Or it's in his contract, or their contract, that you have to come back, if you know what I mean. There's loads of bits and bobs like that. But between these films, like you know what I mean? Like, Dennis Quaid's a bit of a goof.
Yeah. I would say he's not necessarily playing a bit of an action star. This is, well, I mean, you mentioned the fourth one there. Do you think that this one and the fourth one almost becomes like a National Lampoon's of Jaws?
Well,
it almost becomes a comedy. It's like we're just basically using the name Jaws, and we just could have a laugh with it.
Well, the thing is, they're trying to use the name Jaws, but the animatronics of the shark get worse. I mean, the first Jaws is proud for like, oh, this, that, and the other. But at least Spielberg had the power and drive to go, it needs to be the best it can be, and it's unacceptable for anything less. And then you see, like, Jaws the Revenge, and you think, fucking hell, it just floats on past the screen.
Yeah. Seemed to be a very popular thing to take a girl to the waters and say swim in the dark.
And then arm wrestle your brother.
Yeah, with half a chub probably. Now we're back to the two randoms in a raft.
Oh, God, I can't wait till we have the submarine bit. And then, again, ready? The shark kills the raft. So the shark covers up as its tracks here, ready? So you don't realise 2 divers are missing. He's sort of like...
You don't even know who they are, do you?
Nah, he's stuck his head up. We don't know what happened to the other one.
See, now everyone's just creepily jumping on each other. Yeah.
And then look, ready? He goes the raft. Like...
So can we establish that the raft is also a death scene?
Well, the thing is, it's like, is the shark that smart? Is like, I mean, the raft's gone.
Yeah.
But there you go, dog's eating. There you go, he's pouring a cup of coffee. He's holding the dog's ears.
I was just looking at that thinking how ridiculous it is scene.
Oh, no, but that's the reason we do podcasts for, because now you go, look at that fucking wallpaper.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Dunkin' Donuts in the background there, Tropicana, so it seems to like have all the endorsements.
I mean, yeah, why would that be there? Why would that be on a shelf? It's not a food shelf, it's a bookshelf.
I don't know, but I can't see Dunkin' Donuts now. Looks like it's Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts has disappeared. It's not behind him. Where's it gone?
Hold on a minute. Yeah.
Are you ahead of us?
No, that.
No, it's a different.
Just sat down.
Right. I mean, why would you have the phone there?
Yeah. We're gonna box of Wheaties.
Well, this scene's been purposely put in because of like the dads used to do it, and obviously in the fourth one, they obviously abused Rob Schneider by having him reappear, and obviously they're trying to build a foundation. But he should be like here. Oh, what's it like being a copper back in Amityville?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the phone's there. Just because we're quite a way in. I mean, we know that the shark's there, but like they're just like, right, it's just getting on.
Yeah, they're not aware of it, are they? At all. This is why I think it's a weird one, because it doesn't feel like a Jaws film.
Nah.
It doesn't have any remotely, other than the fact that they've charactered the names and said, right, there you go, they're going to be the Brodies. But this has got really very little in terms of DNA to Jaws, other than the fact that we've seen a shark a couple of times. In fact, I've seen more dolphins and whales than I have seen sharks so far. But don't get me wrong, I don't need to see the shark that often. That's the whole benefit of the first one, you barely see it. But, I don't know. I think the first one's just a perfect recipe.
Right, the recipe, the cooks, fucking Spielberg. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
well, that's it, yeah.
And, the writer, I mean,
so
obviously...
people out in the middle of nowhere, that's how you make a suspense shark film. to do it surrounded by people, there's no suspense really. There's no drama. Like I say right now, like I say, we're quite far away in the film, and there's really no acknowledgement that there is in fact a shark issue.
I mean, getting shots like that there with her and the the dolphins going up in the background, it's, you can see that they haven't got the audience in the background. It's pre-filmed, between the shows, and again putting money there. But like again, that's just you're not going to have to pay the dolphins, are you? They're just going to flip for treats anyway.
Yeah. No, that is true. Yeah, it is kind of like how entertaining can we make it? And like you said, dolphins jumping in the background. We've got the pyramids on the skis. So everything seemed to be we're not really expecting you to listen to this plot, or we're not really expecting you to like any of the characters, but if you keep an eye out, it'll be fun to look at.
Yeah, she just looks, she's a very more pretty, I really apologise, because obviously Frances McDowell's not very pretty in a way. She's a brilliant actress, but I always thought that was her, but no, I'm not, I'm just being honest, that's what we do, we're honest. But obviously as well, we're about to get the double twist, because obviously the shark, and obviously this is the woman from the bar, the shark is stuck in one of the vents at this time, so there's a double trick that there's two sharks. So it's the only Jaws film where there's actually two sharks in it. And I think that was originally the plan for Jaws 2 as well, that they would have two sharks.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's a classic trope in it. Jaws 2. Now there's two.
What's the tagline for this? Because Jaws 2 definitely has one of the best taglines ever. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. What's this one? It's never safe to go back in the water.
I don't know if this one has one. I'm going to look at it. I think it's going to have the 3D as mainly obviously it's not Jaws 3. It's titled as Jaws 3D, so obviously I think that's the go-to, but taglines, like I said, I don't actually think it's got one. I'll flick through.
It's not like the fourth one, this time it's personal. I tell you, what the fuck's that meant to do?
I always thought it was personal, to be honest with you.
So now we have the missing persons, and we're about to get the fucking Thunderbird fucking 4 going in the water here.
I never thought about Thunderbird until you said that there, yeah.
I mean, concept-wise. So I haven't seen Meg 2 yet, so no spoilers please, but you can see that people love shark movies, even all them really bad shark movies that come out. Some of the best Jaws films rip-offs to come out since then are, to me personally, I would say Shallows.
You know it is, I have that on Steelbook and yet to have ever seen it.
Oh, well, that's probably a podcast.
I remember, I believe you recommended it to me, to be fair.
I've got this, the Steelbook's really nice as well, it's a really nice Steelbook. So there's the Shallows,
I think that was it, yeah.
There's one called Blackwater. Or is that what I fucking crop?
Can we just acknowledge some terrible 3D there?
I don't want to, that is so bad. That is really bad. This is Thunderbird bad.
It is really like
This is Godzilla 1970s bad.
It's not even real. Oh my god. I mean, I think established as a modern day Jaws. I mean, you could probably put Meg there.
Meg.
It is a bit of a disaster movie, a bit of a monster movie, but at the same time, it is one shark hunting down a small cast. It's essentially Jaws with money.
Well, the one I was on about, it's not a shark film, is Rogue, which is from the director of Wolf Creek, and it's an Australian-based movie about a crocodile, and that's just as good, like, suspense-wise, but it's all the 3D. I think with Jaws, what got the fascination with Jaws is the fact that it's really, really there. It's in the water, and obviously, it's not fucking real, but again, it's real to us. It's affected generations of people wanting to go in the swimming pools. It's really there. When it's CGI, it's like, you know what I mean?
So even this feels very pantomime. You know, like the skeleton just is 100% a prop that they've stuffed down there. There's no belief in the world that is a real, genuine
Well, hasn't got enough corrosion on
but
it.
the hat remains.
It hasn't got enough corrosion on it, and then there it is there on the side. But this is clearly like a water tank. And he would get Echo, fucking the dolphin here, to help them. But get ready for one of the worst effects. You've got to look out for when the shark attacks the boat, and it literally looks like someone's just got a model on a stick, or like made a hammer, and just rams it in. It's so like, it doesn't even move.
To be fair though, that's probably exactly what they've done. It's a model on a stick, innit? So are we establishing that the dolphins are trying to warn them at this point?
Yeah.
Let's go back to Echo, the hardest game in the world.
Oh yeah. Either that or
I'm still stuck on like the second screen, I think.
But here, I mean, they're going down. Oh, they need it. Oh, they're looking for him. Oh, they're going on the pirate ship. So yeah, going to a pirate ship and encounter a shark. It sounds right on paper. I just don't. You know, and then obviously
pirate ship though. I mean, that's.
Well, it's kind of.
How long were we supposed to believe that this ship has been down here?
Well, Howie, dude, it's a fucking underwater kingdom, man. It's been put there on purpose. Howie, it's Disneyland.
Well, obviously, yeah. Yeah, well, we know that, but I mean, in terms of film-wise,
it's not the fucking. It's not the boat from the Goonies that's just sailed off then sunk.
Hey, that was a good boat. I still stand by that. It was a very, very beautiful set piece.
Oh yeah, it was. This isn't though. But again, they've had to do this because of the dolphins.
Oh,
there, look,
yeah.
That is so bad. It just pulls back, and it's just like, you know what I mean. It's like so bad, and then it zooms off. But this is the bit,
and sped up the camera as well, though. That looks even worse.
But if you look though, dude, that is footage from Jaws 1 because obviously it's got the yellow thing sticking out the side of its mouth.
Right.
So there's footage, if you keep it, obviously they've just used footage they've had in the archive, and then obviously they get a lift off the dolphins. I mean, how are you?
That's fucking ridiculous. I forgot about this scene.
But yeah, the shark is really, really sped up. It's kind of like, you know, if you look at it, then here it comes, and then the cue, I'm guessing the music's there. And then you got everyone in the background saying, look, they're filming Jaws. Everybody on there is looking at them filming Jaws. I bet they sold a few tickets that day.
Yeah. I think the ride at Florida was more convincing than this scene is.
I mean, get us wrong, that's a real shark. They've opted to do that, but obviously what we don't know yet is that's the baby shark. So, you know, it can be like the common size of it. But yeah, shut the gate, and then here we go, we get another shot when it rams the gate, and that's a bit more believable. Another film I didn't give enough credit for, even though it's a bit wildly over the top, it has the best animatronics for a shark, is Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, and that was, again, I would say that falls in line with the, you know, kind of taking the fun element of the shark film.
But it creates practical effects. Them sharks moved, them sharks were breathing. But then, obviously, the CGI hasn't held up. And then, obviously, with it being owned by Universal Studios, we now have, a decade later, we have Deep Blue Sea 2 and 3, and you think, can follow the Sharknado film.
When Deep Blue Sea first came out, and there was a lot of nerds online going, I can't believe a shark can't swim backwards. That's ridiculous. And I was like, did you watch the film? The film is kind of ridiculous, but in a very fun way. Hello, Truja. A shout out for him.
Yeah, well, it's Rennie Howland.
It was also a very shock factor of Samuel L. Jackson.
It's also shocked now when you watch how bad the CGI is. But honestly, big cast. Rennie Howland, great director. But again, it's kind of like the audience wants it. You know what I mean? This guy as well, the guy who plays his henchman, I feel like I've seen him in quite a lot of roles where he plays a nasty bastard. Like.
Yeah, I think. Oh, just to go back to what you mentioned before, there are 3 taglines to this movie, and very rightly so, none of them should ever have been used. We have reaching new depths of terror.
Oh my god.
We also have the 3rd dimension is terror. And last but not least, a deadly new attraction. I was like, yep, stick to Jaws 3D. I like
A
it.
deadly new attraction's probably the best out of that, you know what I mean? But again, does the poster say it's in SeaWorld? Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is it, yeah. So Lewis Gossett Jr. is who you're talking about.
No, that's not him.
The
Lewis.
nasty-looking bastard.
No, that's not that. That's not the nasty looking bastard. The nasty looking bastard's the him there, the Tash, the the photographer's henchman, the poacher.
Oh, you know who he's on? I had to go when I started the film before. I had to double check to see if it was him. He's the main bad guy in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
That's it. Oh, yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, where have I seen his face from? And I was like, yeah, he does look like a bit of a gangster. P.H. Moriarty, what a name.
The guy with the bald head, the black guy, I think he was in, was he not in, he was in Enemy with Me with Dennis Quaid as well. They were in a film together where he's the alien who's pregnant when they're on the planet and you think, what the fuck? Enemy of Mine?
Yeah.
But like, he's like sort of Iron Eagle. I mean, look at that, just like spraying towards the camera. Iron Eagle, and then I thought he was dead until he popped up in something quite recently. Oh, what was it? What's he been in recently?
I'll do a little check. I'm not recognising. He did in the Watchmen TV series, miniseries.
No, it's not the Watchmen.
But that's not recent. Recently is Outlaw Johnny Black, which was done in 2023. 2022, he did something called 3 Months. 2021, Not to Forget. Seemed to be a year project kind of person. But I'm going through it, I'm trying to think if there's anything that might stand out for you, but Hawaii Five-0? Yeah.
No.
No, there's nothing there that stands out to me that you'll have seen him in.
He's definitely been in something, but I can't check because I've got my phone on for you.
Mostly, I can say, like, the last week, he did one episode in 2022 of something called Kingdom Business. But yeah, nothing stand out as anything substantial. I think Enemy of Mine was probably this and that was his highlight career. But he does have that kind of face.
Nah, he was in something. I'm going to move my phone and I'm going to look. I don't normally do this, but as they go looking for a shark.
Boardwalk Empire?
No, I haven't seen that. Jaws 3. Black dude. Let's have a look.
Was he in the X-Files?
He probably was in the fucking X-Files. Come on, you keep talking while I have a look.
Right, so so it still looks like shit. I mean, this is it though. I mean, I remember watching this sort of film and thinking, you know, you rented these sort of films out. I mean, I've mentioned this several times on these podcasts, so that I didn't necessarily go to cinemas unless it was a special occasion. So I feel like this is one of those things where, you know, I could happily rent this film as a child and enjoy it for what it is. But as an adult watching it now, thinking, yeah, there's really nothing in it. It's really empty. There's not really much of a plot line here. It's trying to make almost like a theme park of Jaws. They've just thought, like, how do we make it so, like, energetic? And that's not Jaws. Jaws is slow. It's kind of suspenseful. It doesn't show you much, but your imagination gets better. The music as well. I mean, the John Williams music in the film are really kind of like what makes a film. And in this case, so far, there's really nobody that's likeable.
Sorry to cut you off, but did you see that scene between the television and them on the raft? It was like, it was the same shot, just sliced. Obviously, they've just pumped it into the screen, and obviously they wouldn't have that angle. It's not CCTV, it's a film shot. Going back to that guy, it was Stargate.
Yeah. You know, then I'm literally looking, and I think Stargate is at the top of the list there as I was coming through. I realised you've just been binge watching Stargate, haven't you?
Yes, it's finally over. I've been watching Dark Angel at the moment. I've nearly finished that.
Dark Angel, which one's that again?
Jessica Alba.
Oh, yes, sorry.
And I'm on to rewatching Gotham because I never finished it. And I tell you what, mind, I'm watching Gotham on the same screen I am in the editing room. And when I look at Gotham, it just looks so fucking stunning on Blu-ray. Like,
Aye.
yeah, it's just the quality of the footage, the style. I think how it's lit and its style is so good. And then you see a film like this, and you think, oh shit. Now they catch this one quite quickly, don't they? So, but realizing it's the baby.
Yeah.
So it's a great white shark. It's, you know, there's not one in danger. They established they're unique because they are connected to the ocean, and then they put it in a fucking pond where everyone could just fucking tap it on the head. It's just fucking crazy. Dun 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 dun. And she gets hit in the back, doesn't she? Comes out of the water.
Yeah. We mentioned a bunch of films before about like what kind of keeps in line with what the sort of film is now. I would say, forget Piranha.
Yeah.
I never did get into that series. I think I vaguely watched the first one loosely.
Probably
never really got into it.
And a very extensive reboot as well, Piranha, because obviously, you know, Piranha 1, Joe Dante, Piranha 2, James Cameron.
Yeah.
And then it gets rebooted, and like obviously obviously again that came along in the 3D era where you had you had obviously the free double D, and they really had fun with that and knew what it was. But even getting Richard Dreyfuss back in.
I mean, did they go on record and say that was Hooper?
Well, it's kind of, you know, it's again...
It's not really, but I mean, did they actually say, you know, in an alternate universe, that is where you ended up, sort of thing?
Well, that's it. It just has fun with it, you know, so no, that's a good shout, that. But it's like Lake Placid. I rewatched Lake Placid recently, and it's bad. It's, like, Lake Placid is so bad. And that ended up having... That's had quite a lot of sequels, Lake Placid.
Oh, that harpoon was pretty terrible.
Oh, it's got a balloon.
Kind of wire going towards the camera.
Well, you're right about that. It's just so high sped up. You know, and
it's comedy.
Well, the thing is about it, it's not the fact that the shark looks fast, it's speeding up. It's the water, and it's the cut back between other people in the water, and they're just dead slow, and everything else is just super fast.
It's just like a Benny Hill sketch, you know. And I think the fact that you have to do that to keep it interesting, to make it so it's exciting to look at, is missing the point.
So, and talk about like after the fourth one, because it did end Jaws. Obviously, we seen that cruel Jaws at Jaws 5, didn't we, at HorrorCon?
We did, yeah.
And like obviously that's like, you know, apparently quite gold, but I think we realised that was way too expensive. And definitely not having that. But there's that, and then obviously there's the reference to Jaws and Back to the Future.
Yeah. Jaws 19.
But again, it's like they just stopped. I think they could have done a Jaws 5, or they could do something, I think, to I mean, do you want to know my honest thing, right? I think Jaws could work as a TV show. And have the shark...
Are we going back to amateur TV?
Well, just to have, like, the shark attacks happen, you know, over a period of time, and then establish the characters, but don't try and do more than one series. You know, build the characters, build the situation.
Like a mini-series. Like, say, it's a summer holiday, isn't it? So it's going to be like a period of 6 weeks.
Yeah. So here we go. Like, but that's just an idea. Here they go. They're in the water. They're just carrying it around. That is probably the same model they headbutted the ship with. Because that's just obviously just going to be a basis. Would I fuck getting there? Like, I mean, just again, you talk about you talk about dark water and stuff like that, and not knowing, like, if you were going to have dark tanks like that, you would have water so you could see where it was. Ace Ventura, when he falls in the water and that shark comes up, that's again, it's like, fucking hell, you just don't know.
He's lonely.
But even like when I replayed Resident Evil recently, and I replayed the game where you go down the labs and that, the shark comes. It's just something Jaws did to people, like myself. I've got it, where you've got that phobia of like, oh my god, you know what I mean? It's like, just something like hits the right nerve. But this one, it just doesn't seem to have any threat.
Nah, there's no danger whatsoever. I mean, he's literally jumping in the water right now.
Oh, and
as a joke.
It looks bad. Like that red top looks bad. She just seems to be dripping out of focus. So yeah.
No, I mean, at this point, like, I mean, it's National Lampoon's of making such a light of it that there is no consequence, there's no danger. And I mean, now they're panicking that a shark kicking off, and I was just like, well, yeah, but you were prattling about before.
But then
you can't take it from one extreme to another. You either have to treat it like a danger, and it's always a danger, or you can say, right, it'll be fine. This is a baby. It's not going to be effective. It's not going to be aggressive enough.
But then it's like, they take it out of the tank and everyone's just like leaning over when it curls over and dies. Oh, wait there. Postman.
Got more skiing.
Postman.
I wonder how many shots that took.
I'm coming, Postman. I'm coming.
It turned out that Mason has post. So he's off on the run. See, we've now got a guy in a shark suit. That's more scary. I'm more scared about that guy than I am about the shark. So here we are. We're actually open for those who are watching along. You can see we've got actual people in the stand now. Everyone's having a great time. Free Willy's just jumped out of the water. A really long, slow shot of water hitting the camera, which seemed weird. But here we are. I mean, obviously, we're supposed to believe that everyone's just, I don't know. Just seemed a little bit weird. Desperate. I don't think they've got an actual understanding of what sort of film they've got on their hand. They're just kind of going, right, let's just see what happens.
I'm back. It wasn't even for me. I'm gutted.
It wasn't for you?
Well, I'm waiting on 2 VHSs. I've got one coming from America, and I recently did an unboxing for a Fast Getaway time code, and I opened it up, and it wasn't even what I ordered. So the guy says I can keep the VHS it was meant to be, and I'll send the other one express.
Ah, right.
So.
And it's neither one of them.
Nah, it's something for next door.
Ah, well. Well, I got a letter today to tell me that I'm not disabled enough for a free bus pass. I'm quite disappointed because I reckon I'm pretty disabled. But apparently, of all the things I've got, they don't qualify.
Oh, that's crazy, that. We look at him and he's posh little boat. Like, what's going on there in the background on that raft behind him?
So while you were gone, that was essentially what I kind of tried to encapsulate, is what's going on. I said we've got a cast now. We've got an audience. We haven't had one in the stand yet. I did also acknowledge that there was a man in a shark suit that was more convincing than the shark. But here we are with a lot of weird.
I still remember going to Flamingo Land back in like mid 90s or wherever it was, and I remember getting on like the ride at the back, and you would go around and like they would have all the creatures, like a hippopotamus. You would go right past them, you would drive, you would ride up the lake, what they had there, and then they would have a shark, and then they would have a dinosaur leering out the woods, and they'll make you look where they were and that. And I remember when I went back to it a couple of years back, and I was like, oh, it's not even there? And like Flamingo Land is just not what it was. I mean, I know that's for kids, but then I remember, I mean, there's a video of it on the internet. I remember like creeping through the bushes and I could see one of the dinosaurs. I was like, that's fucking terrifying. Like, you can't go up that lake now. And I was just looking at the lake and I thought, imagine if you got on that lake, right? and you didn't realise then things were still under the water and that, and you were just going along and you fucking seen them in the water, you would fucking shit.
Yeah.
Underwater Kingdom coming?
These camera shots are terrible. I mean, you've got that camera going towards what it looked like a snake.
Yeah.
But then a couple of minutes before, we had about a minute and a half of just flags. Zoomed right up on 3 flags.
Well, we've got a lot of blue screen in this as well, and like the Underwater Kingdom's coming in. You're going to get the creature popping out, which is there in the background. You can see it, and then
Piranha.
It's not a piranha, it's a fucking eel, isn't it? Imagine the insurance you would get a claim on that. Like if you got whipped by a fucking octopus thing. But again, an octopus would be a good one to bring into the Jaws thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, had there not, they've got to have been. I think we've had every sea monster film in the world.
Except for a decent Loch Ness monster, fucking Ted Danson.
Well, there's that as well. It's coming soon, mate. It's coming soon.
Terror on the Tyne.
Yep. Speaking of monster films, have you seen that Japanese Godzilla film that's coming out?
Well, it's not the lake, is it? Because that was pretty pants.
No, it's
Oh, you mean -1?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
That's it. But they're always.
I mean, it'll be Japanese, so therefore the film, the cinema won't show it, or they'll probably have like 2 screenings.
No, but if it's anything like Shin Godzilla, like the concept's there, but it just gets fucking weird and all that. I mean, the end of the day, in the first time. Oh, here we go. Great White exclusive. Look, there's no barrier whatsoever. Dwayne Johnson's just been knocked out the way there. Do you see him?
Yeah.
Fucking honestly, right? Like,
But this is after the 80s, right? So there's no health and safety.
that is
This would have
meant to
been
be a
how it
great
would be.
white shark. There, now it's dead.
He's just floating in the air, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not. Look how deep it's meant to be. It's. Oh my god, it's just so bad that. Dwayne Johnson's disappeared. He must have just been there for the set.
His TV show got cancelled.
Which one?
The Rock.
What was that? Ballers.
No, the one where the actual one that's based on The Rock.
Oh, Young Rock.
Aye. Finally got cancelled.
See, TV
It's a
show.
shame, because you think they would have been able to make it to the end of his current career.
Well, this is the
Based on fan base.
problem with TV shows and like stuff. That's what I was saying before. I think Jaws could work as one series. Don't try and milk it and go like that. One series, write it out, stretch it out, and done and dusted. But like when you try and
Are you talking about remaking though? Are we talking about Brody, Quinn and Hooper? Are you talking about a new cast altogether but based on the Jaws theme?
well, it could just be anything. It could just be a fucking shark attack and just make it like, you know, like it's a problem in the area, and you could base it in that area if you wanted to. But like, if you're gonna do a TV series, have an end to the series and then give it time. That's the problem now. People aren't watching television like as frequently as in viewing right now. You've got someone's attention. Like Netflix is a different story. Put a whole series out. But again, it's just kind of like things just seem to happen so fast now. They don't give time for shows to breathe
No.
and find their audiences.
Well, this is it, absolutely. I mean, everyone wants instant success.
Yeah.
We are living in an era where we are taking projects like Willow, or we're taking projects like The Exorcist and stuff like that are all just kind of purely basing it all on the foundation of what is already existing, yet none of them ever really live up to what they were because they're trying to inject it into a modern world. So, for example, not to get controversial, but like if you did a new Shark series where it's going to be Jaws, the TV series, or we're going to have, we'll have to have an identity character who's not quite sure who they want to be, and it's going to have to be able to make sure that you get 2 lasses or 2 blokes in there. And it's not that I actually disagree with a lot of like inclusion when it comes to media, whether it be movies, TV, but I feel like it's being like Disney are doing it a little bit at the moment where they're trying so hard that it's taken away from the artistic approach to film.
Oh, well, that's it. I mean, have you seen the new Goosebumps yet?
The new which one?
Goosebumps.
No, I've seen it advertised, but I haven't seen anything yet.
So we've seen the first episode, and I'm saying to Brit, it's just like, you're right what you said, but they just seem to have ticked every boxes where, you know, the black quarterback is friends with the girl who's now a boy in real life. They're best mates, but then in love with the foreign girl next door. It just seems to be like loads of different type of kind of casting, and like rather than casting the right people for the roles of what they're trying to do, because they're trying to appeal to so much to get people to watch it in a way, where Goosebumps would just carry its name on its own, and then you look at that and go, well, they're trying to build awareness, and they're just something rather than just putting something on and taking it in for what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, ideally, like you say, if you want to rewrite stories, you have to either own it and say, listen, this is a modern version. Not to get too into it, but like Snow White and stuff like that, the new one seemed to be recreating the whole genre. But at the same time, the only thing that makes this worthwhile is that they're relying on the foundation of an existing story. They're relying on people who love Disney to then kind of fund it with the idea of, like, that's the fan base. Whereas rather than say, listen, this is going to be a remake of an 80s film, you're going to have those 80s tropes. It's going to have the same tempo, but then nobody wants to do that now because everyone's afraid to be inclusive, or non-inclusive, should I say.
Oh, by the way, Carl, just let you know that you probably will be missing from the artwork of this. I'll just be with comics.
Oh my God.
Well, I need to get a new picture of you. So we'll have to get that done.
Alright, no worries. I mean, that's fine. I am merely a voice and a vessel of this podcast. I accept the fact that I have a face for radio.
Shut up, man. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you for fucking quickness today. Multitasking, you see.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm not going to be big-headed about it, but just go online, mate. I've got loads of pictures online.
Oh,
do you want to go for
yeah.
Cluedo? Do you want to go for Edwardian Chemists?
Well, I'm talking about digitally correcting everything, man. Sorting everything out today, but I'll see how I get on. We are up to 12:30. Mitch is going to come with us tonight as well, by the looks of it.
Mitch has got, nice one.
So it saves me throwing away a ticket.
Do you know what row you're in, by any chance?
K.
I didn't write the very front.
K.
K. So we're in the same row then, basically.
Oh, what? Oh my
Well, I say
God.
basically. Yeah, because I'm in K as well.
Oh, that's
I'm on the very end. I like an IOCs. So that's not even that bad. I wasn't sure if it would be like miles apart or whether it would be. Obviously, I know we bought tickets.
Oh, hang on. Right. Get ready for the shittest reveal ever.
So to get back to the actual thing that we're doing, which is watching Jaws 3.
So this is, again, no, this is...
The body reveal. You know, we've got a bit of almost Tom Savini-like special effects there, you know. I mean, it looked a bit gruesome. Still didn't quite hit home. It still looked like a...
The shark's reversing and now out there, and then that feels like more... that shark there moving is just the shark wiggling in a tank. But it's just like...
yeah.
It's the kind of like, they're all in slow motion going, oh my God, and then all of a sudden, it's not like Godzilla and Godzilla 2 where he comes right up and it's going BOOM, and like they're all like, in the darkness when they're all underwater and you're getting closer and closer. Like, it's like, that's like the ultimate way to do this scene. But there, and then it's just like there and going, oh, and you think, fuck off.
So I might have lost track here, but when did the mother get into the park?
The mother's always been there.
She was always in the park?
Yeah.
So the baby came in second then?
Well, the baby might have been born in the park. There, look, everyone's like...
This is what
and it's got all...
That's what I just trying to establish, because that was the conversation you said. So you're trying to tell me that the baby was born out at sea and then got caught in the park, because he said the baby got in because Brody left the gate open.
Yeah.
So did they both come in? See, this is where the film doesn't stand on itself, because now did both mother and baby come in at the same time, which if they did, we didn't see that. But they've established that Brody definitely left the gate open for the baby to come in, but they haven't quite actually established whether or not the mother was already there, or maybe the baby came to find the mother. I don't know.
Well, now it's like, oh, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I know he's doing the sprint on water, on the sand, very Jaws one-esque.
Didn't Dennis Quaid go on the record that he was drinking quite a lot this time?
I don't know, but
this guy here, proper, the garbage Beal kid guy in the background here. Look at him.
I'm not being funny. That would be me. That is me playing.
Look at him. He's just like, did it. That's the real threat of this film.
Oh, look at all that fake. Is that fake popcorn, maybe?
Oh yeah.
That fell out. That's alright. That's fair enough. I actually thought it could be fake. Look at them kids, man. Running after popcorn on the floor.
But even though that guy seems like a hard ass, he's actually there to go like there's real danger here. But then the whole like again, you go to SeaWorld, and like they're all like dressed for like just normal beach.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. It feels like they're trying to like kind of shoehorn in the beach, but it's not really. Ooh, that was a stunt worth doing, wouldn't it? Sorry, Quaid's just come off a cabbie cart on the side, which looks really tight. Down. And then this is starting to look a bit sci-fi. Control room.
I mean, where the fuck's he running to? Have they got, like, you know what I mean? It's like...
He's been going a while.
And this guy's just like, get off the stage and all that. You think he would know who he was.
I would say you must, yeah.
Not like he's a random guy. Like, get the microphone.
This entire scene is painful to look at.
But to be honest with you, it sort of fast tracks towards the end after this. I mean, she's just like, oh, there's a shark.
Yeah, it's not going down well.
No, it's not. I mean, no one got killed.
I can see from a certain point of view that obviously they are all watching a show, so I can see the confusion of whether or not it's a real thing, because obviously they're all playing slapstick showmanship, so you might sit there and think, oh, maybe this is all part of the show. But after a few minutes, it's like, nope.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the shows are big and like extravagant, you know what I mean? That woman's way too old to be one of them people. She can't be real.
Now listen, some people are just hanging on to these. She's been there since she was a teenager.
Oh my god.
Oh, is he going to get it?
No.
Or she, actually? No.
I mean, to be honest with you, that shot we've just seen there is the same shot from the fucking when they first discovered it. And obviously now we get that. I mean, to be honest with you, right? Look how fast this shark is. Oh, it's him again. It's the real predator.
Now, do you think we should have had a kill in this scene so far?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like what they do with Banana Boat, you know what I mean? It's kind of, I mean, she does get bitten.
Yeah.
And that takes her out of the film, but she's not dead. But it actually takes both. But again, that can't be that deep.
No.
That cannot be that deep for that. Oh, and then this is a bit of an homage to the original.
It is, although the original one looked like it was substantially like well built, this one looked like it was with polystyrene in it, basically.
It's a poor film, like it really is.
Hey, that's not realistic. That was the most gingerest kid I've seen, and he had no suntan on at all. No, it's just far-fetched.
She's been, but yeah, again, that henchman who comes off the hard guy, they've really turned. I think they've really got in there and tried to help everyone.
Yeah.
So, but then they're obviously can't remember how.
Leah Thompson showed no sign of injury yet. We've just seen like so much blood come off her.
I can't remember how the henchman dies, or does he not die?
The more I watched, the more I realised I didn't. That's a good effect. Fair enough, I'll give you that. The more I watched, the more I realised I forgot this film. I might have blanked it out of my memory.
Alright, and then the dolphins. Oh shit, the dolphins! Just let the fucking killer whale out. See what happens. It's like let them fight.
I mean, that would be a better ending to this film, like if they just sort of like opened the pool up and said, right, free for all, Royal Rumble, last one standing.
And then this guy's pre Richard Hammond, in it. Not Richard Hammond.
Oh yeah, no.
Hammond of Jurassic Park. It's honestly, it's got a little Jurassic Park vibe there, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that scene with the fuck. Oh, it's so bad. Don't worry, get all your snacks now.
Did that spot be a real octopus in the corner of the screen?
I got no octopus.
It's kind of like when they're walking through the water tunnel. Like right at the top of the screen, it looked like a real octopus, but then looked like really like weirdly fake cartoon eyes.
I love it how there she notices the shark all behind the screen. Look.
Yeah.
How the fuck they would see that? It's fine. Nah, not happening.
But that being, even for the time, right? Where's the danger? I mean, these things are fairly well built. Like this one shark is not necessarily going to attack this kind of structure. This is where it becomes cartoony. There's no way a real life shark is going to be going, oh look, glass, loads of people inside there. Oh, I'm gonna get in there and eat them. It would lose attention immediately. It would go off and find something more accessible. I mean, I'm bringing logic. I know it's just a film. I'll be the one to say it. It is just a film. But truth be told, it's just.
Open Water was quite a big hit because of its kind of Blair Witchy kind of real shark scenario. So another one, but not something I've revisited.
Sorry, just to double check, did I go really quiet there for a second?
Yeah.
Alright, sorry. Something with my phone screen. If it goes to sleep, it sometimes knocks the audio off the phone. Yeah, so this is where it's becoming more. I mean, you can't take it serious. I mean, there's no way the shark is attacking this whole sea centre.
Well, it's called chaos, sir.
But again, that's going back to logic, and it's like kind of sometimes you just have to watch it for what it is and not think too much about it. But again, I think that's what Spielberg respected so well, which was how would this shark behave and how would it approach people. This one just being more of a, like I say, I think best described as National Lampoon's Jaws.
Alright, as I said, it's kind of like, oh, there's the Coke endorsement.
And you know, I tell you what, and this is going to sound like a bit of a knock, and it's not really, but you know who would have probably served quite well in this film? For the level that we're dealing with, and I'm not saying it as like I say, I know it sounds like I'm having a dig, but you know, fucking Corey Feldman could have been in this film.
Huh?
At this time, in the 80s, I would have thought he could have been an interesting character for this level of slapstick. It's got that kind of, he is a good actor, he can be taken seriously, but he's also a little bit more animated.
Well, Feldman was in a film.
Like this could have worked really well for him.
Feldman was in a film called Meatballs 4, also called Summer Vacation in England, which kind of has that resort thing. But you're right, it's kind of like, did they cast him... you could cast Feldman on that, but I think Feldman might have been a bit too young for this because I think this might predate The Lost Boys. I think it does by a couple of years actually. But
that's where you could have had your sympathetic young character. You know, we haven't got one in this film, have we? There's no children at all. I feel like that could be where you find that.
Is he in Ghostbusters? The ginger guy?
Aye.
No, is he? Is he not the guy who's kicking off about the fucking hotel? He just looks.
Yeah. Do you not think those policemen look very much like Amityville policemen? I can just see Hendrix when I see them. I was like, are you trying to make it look similar?
Well, that's it. We haven't actually talked about what if stories and Mark and all that. Not but Mark and Matt, but they've done some really interesting follow-up takes on what Jaws could have been.
Yeah.
And again, we're talking about.
Have you read the recent one? Not put on the spot.
I'm only up to number 2, I think.
Number 2.
Hendrix.
Yeah.
Lost Boys ending.
Yeah, so you've seen, like, obviously Brody, because he obviously played on what we believe to be an off-scene...
that dies off screen, yeah.
And there's a nice bit there, kind of brings it to life a little bit, and it kind of makes you think, like, this is very much a genuine conclusion to the Chief Brody character. But no, props to What If story, yeah. Very entertaining, and also... Like you say, you can believe them to be the actual follow-ups of these films, and it works.
So we haven't done a podcast.
In this bloody film.
Well, we did Jaws 2 about January, I would say. I've done Bloodsport, House of Wax, and Money Pit. I'd say it's been a struggle to get these down, but this is what I kind of miss because it has been 10 months. It's the back and forth, smoking on camera. But like you're revisiting this, and like you just try and work out. You go, where was the logical sense for this?
I mean, that's it. There isn't any. I mean, again, someone turned around and said, let's make Jaws 3D. Because it's 3D, why wouldn't you? You've got a suspense film. Jaws the shark is terrifying. If you based on the first film, it was a genuinely terrifying experience. So if you throw 3D into it, that would make it even more scary. But the thing about it is that they've got no foundation underneath them whatsoever. Like I say, the fact that they're using the two Brody boys is about as much of a stretch as anything. There's really absolutely no reason to have them connected to this film. So clearly they're sitting there going, well, we need to bring in the fans from the past films, easy, Brody boys. Then throwing in the fact that they've got probably, I don't know if they've got more money than Spielberg had. Probably.
But there's no...
Where they're spending a lot of money unnecessarily.
But obviously it's endorsed by... But it's endorsed by SeaWorld as well, so basically... You know what I mean? Yeah. They've got you've got the hotel complexes. It's probably off season or just coming the out season.
Yeah.
And obviously as well, SeaWorld. I think it's quite a risk for SeaWorld because SeaWorld's got to be presented of not being like it's got to look like an attraction. So you only need to showcase the killer whales and the dolphins as like because that's how you do. Because back then you couldn't just watch it on YouTube. You know what I mean? You have to go and see these attractions and then have the rides, but it's got to look safe as well, you know?
Well, this is it. You are endorsing a family environment. You don't want to make it look like what if a shark did actually get in? Would this be how they handle it? So you've got to endorse it for sure, but yeah, I mean, now we've got the henchmen and those jumping in the water, so they're all pallying up together.
Yeah, I can't remember how the henchman dies. It's really got us.
I would go on record and say I don't know if he actually does. He's got out of the two of them, that guy in the red, he's too much of a pretty boy. He's surviving this.
The red one?
Aye.
Nah, man, he's in the shark's mouth, man, with a fucking grenade. He dead.
See, this is it. My brain must have cancelled all this out because I have not...
Is this where you fell asleep, Carl? So, Carl, I think you survived this. I think you would have been the one, the guy tormenting people on the buggy boats. That's you.
That's me. I am out of the way. I'm not going to be getting in a raft at midnight, going into forbidden areas for a bit of fish. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah. I mean, we haven't got any like mass hysteria with the general public, have we, in this film?
There's not much mass kill as well. I mean, there's only...
I could say there's none of the actual visitors of the attraction, other than what we saw earlier on with the shark knocking the glass. There's not really much of a like danger to them, is there?
No.
It's more so about the main characters. Is that blood? Is that what they're doing? Are they waving blood around in the pool?
Pheromone blood, probably, aye. Attract the beast.
Do you think they use a real camera that they use in the film with that, or just put them on show?
That'll be an underwater camera, you know what I mean? Because you can't really fit that. I mean, at the end of the day, they are top-end cameras, so it's endorsement for whichever camera, but you don't really see, like, Kodak slapped on the side of that box. I mean, that there is probably one of the creepiest shots of it coming out the dark with its mouth open, right?
Yeah.
You stilled that, right? But then it doesn't move, it's sort of there. But, like, that's what I've always talked about. That kind of realisation of something there in the dark, and the flashes of that would have been, like, you know what I mean? That is probably the scariest image in this film.
Yeah. Effective. It worked. I'm finally actually afraid of that shark.
But then it's just going whoom, whoom. So does he not get out in time? He gets eaten. It's where he gets eaten.
Well, the guy in red.
The guy in red, because he doesn't make it out of here.
Aye. I mean, if you go on Star Trek, this is the giveaway, innit? He's wearing red. He's going to die. Although he wore red all the way through the film, I think. I don't know if it's a theme going on there.
So they're going to try and drown it, aren't they? That's the plan.
Yeah. I think I would have to say, if someone said, name a scene of this film, I think it literally is the money shot at the end where the glass breaks in 3D.
That is not the money shot. That is one of the worst scenes in Jaws franchise.
But I mean, if you consider it right now, we've had what? So we are, like an hour and a half in, right? We've had, at best, 2 deliberate 3D shots so far.
Yes.
Is that enough to justify it to be called Jaws 3D? An hour and a half worth of footage, and we've had 3 shots that I know of. We had the arm, that was the very first shot. Then we had the bit where the rocks appeared to be a bit more layered. So I'd imagine that was a 3D shot, and I'm sure there was another one, wasn't there?
Well, that's it. I mean, that is quite a scary environment to be in, if it was done right. You know.
But he's wheeling around, like he's panicking, but the shark doing nothing. The shark is literally, I mean, it is moving obviously, but he didn't fucking swallow him whole, surely.
Well, that's it. He carried the other camera.
That's ridiculous. I didn't realise it was that bad. There's no way that shark big enough to swallow a whole human being, and there's no teeth in there.
Well,
you're literally just gumming them.
It's
I don't know what to think. Are you gumming someone?
Pinocchio all over again.
That is one of the worst death scenes I think I've seen. There was no logic in that scene whatsoever.
I mean, he's obviously gone, and obviously I think his henchman pops up and realises he hasn't made it.
Yeah. I'm actually a little bit annoyed about that scene now. I think that's really put a sour tone on it. Because obviously you can dislike something. I mean, we love the fact that when we watch movies for podcast, sometimes we are very clear that we're watching it because it's a childhood favourite or it's something that we really love. And then we know that we'll watch things like Damn Sea Vampires, which we understand what we're getting into. This one, I was hoping for a little bit of nostalgia. I knew it wasn't a great film, but I was hoping to be like, this is why I loved it as a kid, or this is one of the reasons why I watched it, but nah. This is just insulting to the franchise. And the fact that they managed to get old footage from the first film means that they must have had a word with Spielberg, and he's obviously said aye.
No. At Universal, it'll be stock footage, it'll be unused footage. Universal own that. All the stuff that they filmed in Australia and all that kind of things. But it's like when we get to the fourth one, how we'll have to do... Because the fourth one does have an audio commentary. Because I did it years ago now. But the fourth one has an alternative ending as well on the Blu-ray, which obviously they just reused footage from the first one, which we'll get to in that. But, it's kind of a movie. It doesn't really need the shock or the situation, but yeah, it is just pretty messy.
Yeah.
And obviously,
where's Fitz?
Aye.
So is he going to go back in looking for Fitz?
No, I think he survives. I think.
Aye, it sure looks that way, doesn't it? Governor.
But yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, in theory, that's a pretty brutal death. You're going into a car. It's a brave death. But then at the end, it's kind of, you're right, the shark's just going along. You know what I mean? The shark's not moving fast.
Yeah.
And he needs to be careful there because he's gone in there with a shark.
Yeah.
He's got quite a lot of mean, I looked on his IMDb and he has worked constantly, bald actor. But he reminds me of the old other one from Back to the Future with the bald head. He was in Masters of the Universe and he's in Problem Child 2 and all that.
Yeah. Well, the principal.
Aye.
From Back to the Future. Aye, yeah. Well, this is one of the things that we've noticed, isn't it, though, when we tend to watch more of our generational films, such as the 80s and 70s and stuff, you do see people who are not necessarily main screen blockbuster actors, but they are constantly working all the time. They don't necessarily have to be the big role, they're just, like you say, a constant, which you can make a living off. I don't think you can do that now.
See, he's looking down there, you get a shot of him looking down, you never see what he's looking down at, and to me, if you got a shot of that tank and you can see the water, if you just seen the shark just literally looking there, eeriness about it, because all we're getting here is the tail. That kind of shot there, it's got a creepy look. It's enough. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah.
It's about to escape in a minute.
Yep.
I watched Leviathan the other night on VHS.
Alright. How would it hold up on VHS?
Oh, it was good. It was what it was, but it's kind of why is this not available? It's Peter Weller's in there. You've got Daniel Stern. You've got Ernie Hudson. You've got Rambo's his name. Him from First Blood, the General.
Yeah.
It's packed in there. It's kind of why is this not available?
Yeah.
And they're all just looking like the shark's going to escape. I mean, that's some force of a tailwind, that.
Yeah.
And the winch.
Back to tail.
I mean, this is just footage we've seen earlier on.
Yeah. Oh, that's all we used, yeah.
But yeah, again,
you see, though, that shadow on the shark there looks good. I'll give it that.
Well, that's what you need. You need the eeriness. It's not meant to be surprise there in full. You don't want to see what's happening again. That's what Spielberg did. But a couple of years on, and again, here's another thing: if they're going to do it in a place where they can do it where it's in their control and they're not battling the natural sea elements and they can do this stuff in the tank, there's no reason for the shark not to actually work. See there, right? That coming out the shadows there is quite a genuine, terrifying shot, right? But we've just seen that shot. It's just being used when they take the pictures. It's exactly the same footage. But that is an eerie shot. And that's the eeriest shot of the movie. That there of them behind it, and you see how big that fucking thing is. You know that's there. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what you should be doing to showcase it. I mean, here comes the fucking dolphin. But the dolphins would have had to be in there with that thing.
Yeah. Tag team in the post-shot.
But again, are we just now getting it? Look at that poor dolphin. Now we just getting stretched it out. Now it's just going to go back to the thing, and we're going to get the worst fucking 3D shot.
Yeah.
But again, that's generally terrifying, I think, because that's what you want.
I mean, they're gonna get at least one good shot of a nearly 2-hour film. So yeah, I mean, at least we've got some positivity.
I didn't even realise this was 2-hour time that you just said there, and I've just checked the time.
Aye.
Oh, it's got stupid.
This could have been very much an hour and a half.
Yeah.
If you cut out the crap, and it would have probably even served us out better. I may have even been more forgivable. But again, trying to create a blockbuster from a blockbuster, but then not put in the work either. Because again, they're taking all the easy routes. Like you said, they've got the Sea World, so they don't have to worry about like sets and stuff like that. I think they've become very complacent, and they thought it would be enough to keep people entertained. So they haven't thought about actual character, plot, and structure. Which some would say are a very important part of the film industry.
Alright, now they're all in the unit. And the shark's got to give a good old headbutt. Flood the place. And yeah, we're going to be pretty much done. And soon, I would say.
I mean, yeah, we've accomplished what we set out to do. I don't think there's anything else left in it that would, I wouldn't say save it, but...
I mean, if anyone's listening to these, obviously there is quite a gap between Jaws and Jaws 2, isn't it? Isn't Paul on Jaws?
I think we did the first one, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously we took
Yeah,
ages.
he was, yeah, because I think that's what took so long to do the second one, is that we were trying to, like, coincide everyone. Yeah.
Oh, me and Paul went to see Taylor Swift, you know, the other night.
I mean, yes, I saw the image. How was it? Was everyone jumping up and down singing? And
Oh, here it comes. Yeah. It's coming towards. You see it in the background?
Oh, here we go.
Here we
the
go.
Money shot.
Not moving.
Oh, slow motion.
Slow motion.
I love it. This is my favourite part, which is why I remembered it. Oh, no. This is as bad as Austin Powers when he comes in really slowly, but then... Yep, there you go.
Oh, it's just shit. Shockingly shit. Yeah, Paul left halfway through Taylor Swift. Yeah. It was on for 3 hours, man. Didn't stop.
Oh, that's a long time. Like
visually looks stunning. But like, even I was going, oh my god. And then Paul just left us hanging with the lasses from work, so...
Right. Of course, I didn't see him in your picture. Did he turn up afterwards?
Well, he took the picture.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Right, random guy's just been murdered. Poor random guy.
At this point, I don't even know who's who, though. Like, I do, but you know what I mean? Like, there's literally...
I think the guy who's just been killed has been, like, the black guy there.
That looks a bit like mocap.
And oh, look, he's just killed the guy, but the guy's still in there with his bomb. Holding that bomb, that is a death grip. Look, bomb!
Yeah, that's a smile, you son of a bitch, move this.
He should have still been alive and going, get away!
So we established that he ate that guy, like, what, let's just say movie timeline, possibly like half an hour ago. And he's just sitting there, and he's got a full human body.
Yeah. With a bomb.
With a bomb. It's just, I mean, if there's anyone out there listening who would like to comment on this video when it comes out to shark biology.
Now, bearing in mind...
Is that even possible?
Bearing in mind, this would have been pitch black because that would have wiped out all the power. It would be pitch black down there. No one's got a torch.
Yeah.
And now he is literally...
Hook a duck.
And then...
That being the way to survive.
Oh, it's messy.
Oh, here we go.
It's messy.
They're tied behind something.
And then the teeth come up right at the screen, don't they?
Oh, no. Oh, that's the money shot there. I apologise. This is the money shot now. There no Jaws stopping on the screen. It's almost to say, just remind everyone what this film called. Jaws.
It's bad. It's really bad.
This is starting to make Busted sound like a good film.
Hey.
Notice I said sounds like a good film. Oh, that's a nice shot in it, but a sunrise or the sunset. I don't know.
Well, it's meant to be sunrise because that's all been happening at night time, so...
That's all been night time, innit?
And then the dolphins jump up behind for a freeze frame, don't they?
Yep. Yeah, bless them. And they're creating the whole Brody and Hooper thing, where it's like the last two kind of floating in water after it's all been done.
Well, now we're like, did everyone else get out all right?
Yeah. Nobody else matters. You know, it was just a love interest. I tell you what, they spent some money on those dolphins. That's all this film's been about. Dolphins in the background doing that one move. Here we go. Oh, not even the real dolphins.
Oh, this end this film.
Gosh.
End. Why is it still on the screen? End. Wow.
I didn't realise it was Leah Thompson's first film.
Oh, right.
I don't know if you mentioned that earlier on when you mentioned that.
Well, I mean, that gets
I thought first ever film, which I thought in that case not bad.
Well, that gets a foot in the door for Back to the Future a year or so later.
Yeah. Oh man, that was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty crap.
I mean, it's the worst of the four.
I mean, by far, yeah. Well, I think. Do you think it's the worst of the four because it's still trying to take itself serious? I feel like the fourth one understands what it's trying to be, which is what makes it a bit more forgivable. Whereas this one, I feel like they are trying to genuinely make a Jaws film, and it's just crap.
I think like the idea is there, but it's just the execution. I said like at the start of this, take away the 3D and take away, because obviously if you go in 3D, you're going to compromise, especially that end shot. But then take away the Brody family and create some characters. But you know, like Deep Blue Sea in a way borrows from this because of the underground stuff. You know, to be honest with you, the concept of it, I mean, again, the video game goes back to this and shows you how a shark should be in there and all that. But man, like, fuck me, I'll not be watching this anytime soon. I mean, me and Paul, we watched it one Christmas, right? And then, again, me and Paul don't often have the same dinner. And it wasn't until, like, lately, the Christmas after, I went out on the shop floor and found Jaws 3 to watch. And it was the same copy, so it hadn't sold. But you know what's really weird? Jaws the Revenge sells all the time on Blu-ray.
Really?
Yeah, I never have Jaws 2 or 3 in. I mean, Jaws 2's just recently been released on 4K. Yeah. Which I thought, why bother? Why not? But you think, why bother? Because how would you put Jaws 3 on 4K if it looks that bad on Blu-ray?
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
But you would think they would put them in the box sets because, you know, again, Universal is the property. You know, they've kept it alive. I mean, Jaws, it's 2023. Jaws is on a cereal box still to this day now. We've had video games, board games. We've had, you know, it's pop culture nostalgia. The vinyls by Mondo. I mean, both me and you own the print by Nosferatu, who did the Jaws print, which is something I love. But this, and then they did a fourth, and we ain't had shit from Jaws in nearly over 30 years now.
Yeah.
So.
And this is it, I mean, does it live in its own timeline? You know, what we're talking about, like, you mentioned earlier on about, obviously, some of the things that we've seen in the past. Like, look at Jurassic Park, for example. Jurassic Park, mint film, absolutely brilliant. But I mean, you and I somewhat disagree a little bit on the last Jurassic World film. That I feel like it's a product of its time. Jurassic World as a trilogy really dropped the ball. Kind of falls in the Star Wars element of the first one being a bit more of a celebration and a nostalgia trip to the first film that was where it came from. Yet the sequel just lost the plot altogether.
Oh, by far. I mean,
kind of, that's Jaws. It's kind of like, well, the first one massively popular. The second one, you can find things to love about it, but it just doesn't work. And then talking about like how far can you take it? You know, how much can we put it into perspective of what can a Jaws film deliver? Well, it's a horror film, essentially. It's a thriller, and you're supposed to be suspenseful.
Yeah.
That's what made the first one so good. This one is taking all those elements out. You're literally going, well, give us more cast, give us more money, give us more space to work with, and you're literally disabling yourself, because the best thing about Jaws was that it was a small pond. Not obviously, it was in the middle of the ocean, but you know what I mean? It was like a small pond to play in, and that was where you had little to kind of mess up. This one, I feel like they had too much. They got given SeaWorld. They got told, right, go and do what you want on SeaWorld, and it was too much for them. Him running to warn everyone, it took him fucking half an hour.
Yeah, but it's showcasing the park, isn't it?
From the main part where he saw the shark, he's ran to an entire theme park. It just doesn't land. It's too much to play with. Like I say, I think, in all fairness, there's just not enough of a horror aspect to this. This is very much a TV film at best, and because it's TV, you lose all the dramaticness. The effects aren't really that effective. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I say, we see a couple of injuries, but nothing that really screamed out. Like when you see Jaws and you see that head pop out of the boat, still to this day, I'm still waiting for it. It's, oh my god, there it is. Here, there was like one body that was found that was, you know, looked all right, but you know, still a bit too cartoonish. And then Leah Thompson got bit in the leg.
Yeah.
And obviously, don't forget the guy who got swallowed whole, but he didn't get swallowed whole because he still got a grenade in the mouth half an hour later. So yeah.
So.
I ran over. It's shit. That's what it is.
So what can it be? How many Echo the Dolphins out of 5?
Are you going out of 5? You always stick me at 10.
No, I don't.
Do we not?
Oh, we do 10. You do your fucking 5 bombs.
Oh, yeah, I do 5. You'll give us grief about it. I would do it out of 5 if you like.
No, we'll do it out of 10.
We're going 10. How many Echo the Dolphins out of 10? I would be begrudging to give this more than 1. I think 1. I'm going to stand on that one.
Fucking hell.
There's no plot. There is no cohesive story. It is literally taking every loose aspect of this franchise and putting it together. 1 Echo of the Dolphin out of 10.
1 Echo of the Dolphin. Fucking hell, dude. Well, I'll just go 2.
I mean, are you going to hold on a minute? Are you going to watch this again outside of podcast realm?
I mean, to be honest with you,
I'm sit and go and watch this again just for pure entertainment of watching a film.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if it's on television and there's fuck all else in your hotel room and it's on, you're gonna fucking watch it, you know. But no, I mean, it's again me and Paul. Obviously, me and Paul would have went and watched Jaws 3 because Paul was still at the podcast at that time. But you're right; it's kind of like every time you watch it, there's that one bit where it comes out of the darkness, which is reused. That's eerie. And the rest of the film is garbage. It really is.
Gotcha. And they say it's not to say that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some people out there might love this film. You know what I mean? For me, though, it's. I mean, there's a reason why I literally probably haven't watched it since VHS days.
But you say that
this on DVD. I've never needed to watch this one. If I've ever watched a Jaws film,
right? Now we're there.
So,
stop digging yourself a hole because you're saying that, right? Haven't you bought the fucking steelbook?
So. This is where the arguments kind of, because what I've done is I bought the first one, because who wouldn't buy the first one? And then me, as the completist, unfortunately, as I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I do find myself buying some film because I know that it's going to be complete in a set. Now, I've grown since then, because I've still got the original, the Indiana Jones trilogy, even though they re-released all of them on Steelbook, but I refused to buy the 4th one, and the 5th one has just been announced for Steelbook, and I'm not going to buy that shit. So I have grown over time, but I will admit, absolutely, I have this on Blu-ray. I actually think it's a better steelbook than it is a film, so I can still appreciate the film from some perspective. They all kind of match themselves on the slipcase and the cases. So yeah, I'll go on record. I bought this motherfucker, but I can also say that I probably would never watch this again, unless 10 years down the line, if you want to revisit the podcast, maybe, but I don't see myself watching this film again.
Well, it hasn't aged in time. Right, I want to say goodbye for now, because we're just almost at the 2-hour mark. Me and Carl are going to see Ed Edmondson tonight, so I need to go paint my living room. So, thank you very much for watching. We could possibly do Jaws the Revenge tomorrow, I think. Aren't you off tomorrow? Are you going to see the new films out?
No, I have got no plan to leave the house, as we are currently on bus strike, meaning that I can't go anywhere. So right. I shall be in the home, housework, and doing something. So if you want to do Jaws or tomorrow,
yeah, we might do Jaws. You might get Jaws the Revenge tomorrow from us. But for now, thanks for listening. Goodbye for now.